So this is the lecture for session 3.3, MAC 1105, College Algebra. So here we're going to be talking about even and odd functions. We're also going to be talking about the average rate of change, and then we're going to be talking about the slope of the secant line. And so that's going to be the last problem, I believe. So an even function, if we replace x with negative x, so therefore if f of negative x is equal to f of x, so in other words, if I replace x with negative x, and then I end up with the original function, then f is an even function and is symmetric with respect to the y-axis. And so if I replace x with negative x and f of negative x ends up being negative 1 times f of x, or negative f of x, then f is an odd function and is symmetric with respect to the origin. Now the next thing is the average rate of change of a function. So normally if it's a linear function, we just find the slope. But in this case, since it's not a linear function, we have to find the average rate of change. So delta y over delta x is equal to f of b minus f of a over b minus a. In this case, a does not equal b, and then usually a is going to be less than b. So like I said in the previous section, x and x f of x, the ordered pair, is the same as x y, right? And then so therefore if I have an a, then a f of a is an ordered pair, and so it's b f of b is an ordered pair. So for number 37, we're going to find out, is the function f of x, defined as 4x to the third power, is it an even function or is it an odd function? So then what we're going to do is we're going to replace x with negative x, and then we're going to end up with, so when I do that, negative x to the third power is just going to be negative x to the third. So then what I'm going to end up here is with negative 4x to the third, negative 4x to the third power, which means that this is going to be equal to negative 1 times f of x. So negative 1 f of x. So in other words, this is an odd function. Now for number 39, again, I'm going to replace x with negative x. So this is going to be negative 3. So negative x to the second power is just, so it's just the same as x squared. So just like I said in the previous section, negative x to the second power, the base is negative x, is the same as x to the second power. And so this is just equal to the original function. So therefore, number 39 is just going to be an even function. So number 46 is the same thing, right? We're going to replace x with negative x, which is negative x over x squared minus 1, which is equal to negative h of x, which is in this case is going to be an odd function. So that's number 46. So number 65, what they're asking us to do is to find the average rate of change of the function from 0 to 2. So in this case, this is my a and this is my b. So one of the first things that I have to find out is, so what's f of 0? So f of 0 is just going to be 4, right, for this particular function. Then I'm going to find what is f of 2. So f of 2 is going to be equal to, so that's going to be negative 2 plus 4, which is negative 8 plus 4, which is going to be negative 4, right? And so here we have, we're going to use the formula f of b minus f of a over b minus a to find the average rate of change. So then this is going to be negative 4 minus 4 over 2 minus 0. So this is going to be negative 8 over 2, which is going to be negative 4. So the average rate of change of the function f of x, defined to be negative 2x squared plus 4, from 0 to 2 is negative 4. In other words, the function f of x is decreasing as x goes from 0 to 2. So let's go ahead and do the b, which is 1 to 3. So we're going to find f of 1. And so this is just going to be negative 2 plus 4, which is going to be 2 for f of 1. Now, f of 3 will be negative 2 times 3 to the second power plus 4, which is negative 2 times 9 plus 4, which is negative 18 plus 4, which is going to give us negative 14, right? And so using the function, we're going to do negative 14 minus 2 over 3 minus 1, which is going to be, in this case, negative 16 over negative 2, which is negative 8. So the function f of x, as x goes from 1 to 3, is decreasing, and then it's just negative 8 units, the average rate of change. The next one is going to be from 1 to 4. So now we already know that f of 1 is equal to 2, so we don't have to calculate that. So we're going to calculate f of 4, which is going to be negative 2 times 16 plus 4, negative 32 plus 4, which is going to be negative 28. So in this case, it's going to be negative 28 minus 2 over 4 minus 1. So this is going to be negative 30 over 3, which is going to be negative 10. So the average rate of change of the function f of x from 1 to 4 is negative 10. So for number 68, we're going to do the same thing, right? We're going to find the average rate of change of the function from negative 1 to 2. So h of negative 1 is negative 1 to the second power minus 2 times negative 1 plus 3. So it's going to be 1 plus 2 plus 3. In this case, it looks like it's going to be 6. Now, h of 1 is 1 squared, 2 times 1 plus 3. So 1 minus 2 plus 3. So 1 minus 2 is negative 1. Negative 1 plus 3 is negative 2. Sorry, it's going to be positive 2, not negative 2. And so here we're going to plug in the value. So this is going to be 2 minus 6 over 1 minus negative 1, which is negative 4 over 1 plus 1. So negative 4 over 2 is going to be negative 2. So the average rate of change for the function h of x from negative 1 to 1 is negative 2. So here we're going to find again h of 0. So h of 0 is going to be simply 3, right? H of 2 is going to be 2 squared minus 2 times 2 plus 3, which is 4, right? Minus 4 plus 3, which is just going to be 3. So then this is going to be 3 minus 3, 2 minus 0, 0 over 2 is 0. So the average rate of change for h of x from 0 to 2 is 0. So the next one is going to be from 2 to 5. So now we already know that h of 2 is equal to 3, so we're going to find h of 5. So h of 5 is going to be 5 squared minus 2 times 5 plus 3. 5 to the second power is 25. Negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. So 25 minus 10 is 15, and 15 plus 3 is 18. And so we're going to have here, for number 68. So it's going to be, in this case, 18 minus 3, 5 minus 2, which is going to be 15 over 3, which is going to be 5. So the average rate of change of the function h of x from 2 to 5 is equal to 5. So jumping over to number 71, we're going to find first the average rate of change from negative 2 to 1. So first thing we're going to find is g of negative 2, which is going to be 4 minus 2, which is going to be 2. And then g of 1 is going to be 1 squared minus 2, which is just 1 minus 2, which is going to be negative 1. And so for 71, here we have that it's going to be, right, negative 1 minus 2 over 1 minus negative 2. So it's going to be negative 3. 1 plus 2 is going to be 3, which is going to be negative 1. So in this case here, the average rate of change from negative 2 to 1 is just going to be negative 1. And so the slope, therefore, of the secant line is negative 1. So then we're going to find the equation of the secant line containing the points negative 2, g of negative 2, and 1, g of 1. And so we just have to use one of the points. We don't have to use both points. So in this case here, what we're going to use is we're going to use the first point. We're going to use the first point, negative 2, g of 2, which happens to be negative 2, 2. We're going to use that, and the slope of negative 1. So we're going to use the point slope formula, which is y minus y1 is equal to x minus, which is equal to m times x minus x of 1. So y1 is 2, the slope is negative 1, and then x is negative 2. So y minus 2 is going to be negative x plus 2. Y minus 2 is going to be x, negative x minus 2, so then y is equal to negative x. So then the equation of the secant line from negative 2 to 1 happens to be y is equal to negative x. And that's the end of section 3.3. Thank you.